Okay, so let's get started. So once again, just move your body any way that you want. Okay, just the idea is just get your body warmer, move your joints to lubricate them. Okay, so let's start off with just kind of pumping our heels, moving our arms. Okay, and we're just gonna go from top to bottom again, moving our neck first, shoulders, hips, and then our legs. Okay, so kind of look up and down a few times. Okay, once again, go only as far as you feel comfortable. We should not actually go into pain when we're exercising. So if there's some areas that bother you, just avoid those places. Okay, and let's do side to side. Okay, and then let's go into the shoulders. Okay, so let's do a kind of a basic shoulder roll. Okay, but trying to go as far as you can. So try to pull it up, pull it back, pull it down, and push it forward. Okay, you can always change directions. Okay, let's stretch our neck a little bit as well. So let's, if your balance is okay, tilt your head a little bit, stop your feet if you need to. Okay, and just try to see if you can push your shoulders up and then pull your shoulders away from your ears, feeling a little bit of a stretch on the side of your neck, top of the shoulders. Okay, and whenever you're ready, you can go to the other side. Okay, once again, if you need to stop your feet for balance, please do so. Okay, and let's come back. Okay, let's move our shoulders in a bigger motion. So kind of swing it back and forth, front to back. Okay, see if you can pull your fingers back a little bit as well. Okay, give yourself a bigger hump in the front. Okay, let's go front to back. So let's kind of swing, kind of reach backwards and be a little higher up. Okay, and slowly can we reach a little higher up? Okay, maybe go a little slower and reach a little further back. Once again, not to the point of pain. Okay, so if anything is painful, avoid it. You can even do just one hand up if you have shoulders issues on one side. Okay, let's see if you can maybe wiggle your fingers, try to reach up a little more. Deep breath in. Okay, and reaching out, reaching back. Okay, see if you can reach your pinky kind of up to the ceiling. So we'll be rotating the arm at the same time. Okay, and try to reach our thumb backwards. Okay, so rotating our shoulders inwards as we reach back. Okay, maybe just do one or two more times. So pinky up, towards the back as we go up. Okay, and then thumbs back. Okay, let's do one last time. Breathing in, pinky up. Okay, and thumbs back. Okay, and relaxing our shoulders. Okay, let's go to the elbows. So let's do, keeping our elbows close to the body, let's do a circle. Okay, see if you can open your hand, open your fingers. So let's say, imagine you place your foot on your side, on your head, on the side of your head, as you rotate around. Okay, and then opposite, reach into your armpits as you kind of rotate inwards. Okay, and once again, if you can, keep your legs moving in some ways. Okay, let's move the wrist. Okay, just a basic wrist circle. Okay, other way around. Okay, let's almost imagine we're painting a wall. So try to, your fingertips are like a brush and you're painting a wall up and down. Okay, let's paint side to side almost. So leading the wrist. Okay, imagine you're a fancy artist and you're keeping the brush tips in one place while you do a circle around. Okay, maybe the other way around. Okay, and then just wiggle all your fingers. Okay, and then let's wiggle the tips of our fingers. Okay, and then move side to side. Okay, relax my shoulders. Let's go on to the hips and the spine a little bit. So relaxing your back slightly. Okay, just lead with the hips. Okay, allowing your upper body to kind of rotate around, maybe slightly bend, slightly bending to the side, bending backwards a little bit. Maybe keep your head in one place if you do get dizzy easily, or close, or not moving as much at least. Okay, let's move the hips. So let's give this back a little bit of stretch. So hands on the thighs or hands on the chair, pushing our butt back until you feel a little bit of stretch behind your thighs, maybe behind your knees. Okay, and once again, breathing in, maybe doing the opposite, pushing hips backwards, bring our chest up to the ceiling. Okay, and let's do a couple of times. Okay, so pushing hips back. Okay, and then arching our back slightly, bring our chest up to the ceiling. Okay, number 3. Okay, or maybe open the chest a little bit. 4. One last time. 5. Okay, let's stretch the front. Okay, so probably familiar with this, most of these already. But legs forward, one leg forward, one leg back. Okay, pull your belt up, belt buckle towards the ceiling. Keep your back leg kind of straight. Feel a stretch in the front of the hips, maybe front of the thighs. Okay, and see if you can, if you still don't feel anything, push it forward a little bit. Okay, but keep pulling the belt buckle up to the ceiling, keeping the back leg straight. The heel can be on the ground, off the ground, whatever you feel the most comfortable. Okay, so while we're in this position where we feel a little bit of a stretch, let's do a little bit of side bending as well. So this is my right leg back. I'm going to move my right arm up towards my head and kind of inwards as well. So feeling a little bit of stretch on the side. Okay, let's do 5 deep breaths. Okay, deep breath in, reaching kind of inwards, and also try to reach slightly backwards. Okay, you can go your own pace about 5 times. Deep breath in as you reach up. 4, 5. Okay, and let's do the same thing. Side, move things around as you see fit. Okay, so once again, one leg forward, one leg back. Bring your belt buckle up, keep the back leg straight. Feel a little bit of stretch in the front of the hips. Okay, and this is my left leg. I'm reaching my left arm over my head, slightly backwards. Taking in a breath at the same time. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and you can shake things out a little bit. Okay, so let's move the hips in a kind of a circle. So just kind of draw like a half circle on the floor. Kind of focus on reaching backwards, upwards, and not just forward. Usually we're a little limited in the back. Okay, and same thing. Side. Okay, make sure I'm not tripping on this. Okay, once again, focusing on kind of reaching backwards a little bit, maybe feeling a little bit of squeeze in my butt muscle as I reach it back around. If it's too hard, just keep it on the floor. It's completely fine. Okay, let's move the knees. Okay, just bend and extend, alternating maybe between the 2 sides. Okay, let's move the ankles. So kind of rocking back and forth, kind of going up on our toes, pulling up into our heels. Okay, side to side a little bit. So lift one side of both feet. So I'm pulling my right side up, then pulling my left side of both feet, just a tiny bit off the floor. Okay, and let's check our balance today as well. So let's try to maybe stand on one leg, use as much arm support as you need to. Okay, so don't necessarily have to lift the arms off. You can have it holding on, you can have it pushing down, slightly touching. Okay, let's see if you can just do a little bit of ankle circles at the same time. Okay, also just checking how our balance is today. Okay, if you find that, okay, I'm really wobbly today, okay, maybe skip out on some of the more challenging balance positions. Okay, and same thing on the other side. Let's see how we are on the other leg. So I feel like I'm a little better on my right side today compared to my left. kind of walked for, I think I hiked for close to 2 hours yesterday, and my left knee is feeling a little bit this morning. Okay, and then lastly, let's move our feet and our toes as well. So imagine you're grabbing on something on the floor with your toes. Okay, see if you can lift all your toes off the floor a little bit. Kind of pull your toes apart. Kind of play with it any way you like. Okay, but the idea is still we're moving the joints of our feet and our legs a little bit. Okay, so that was our warm up. Okay, so you might have feeling your heart rate maybe slightly faster than before. It should be a little bit faster just because we have been moving. But we're going into the aerobic part where we are trying to push it up a little bit more, where we go into that moderate intensity. Okay, so feel free to do this to the talk test as you're following along. If you find that you're getting into really out of breath, slow down. If you find it's not enough for you, go faster. So always listen to your body. Let us know if you have any concerns as you follow along. Okay, so once again, aerobic exercise is anything that get a heart rate moving more. So once again, the more muscles you use, the bigger the muscles we use, the higher our heart rate tends to be. Okay, so we're just going to try to move maybe a little bit faster, maybe just moving a little bit bigger motion than before, and we're going to try to do that for about 10 minutes. At any point, if you don't feel comfortable, feel free to slow back down or just keep moving your legs in some ways. But once again, if you so choose, go faster. Okay, so let's just give ourselves a little bit of time just to get our heart rate up a little bit faster. Okay, so just slowly ramping up how fast we're moving. Okay, so let's try to just move in almost like a star pattern. So we're going to move, take maybe a couple of steps forward, a couple of steps back. Okay, and we're moving diagonally along. Okay, and then back to the center of the star, go straight out to the side. Okay, check behind you just to make sure you have enough space before you go diagonally backwards. Okay, maybe straight back. Okay, other way. So you're drawing a star, just straight out to the side. So you can just go at your own pace. Okay, and then this angle. Okay, and then forward. Okay, so now let's try to do the same thing, but maybe slightly faster if you feel comfortable. Okay, so just at your own pace, you're just going to go different directions a little bit. Okay, once again, feel free to go slower or faster. Okay, you can do bigger steps or smaller steps, completely up to you. The goal is just to, once again, get the heart rates a little bit faster. Okay, so if you feel comfortable, let's try to maybe get up to a pace where we maybe feel just a little bit more of the breath. So usually it takes about 2 to 5, at least 2 minutes usually for heart rate to really climb up. It may be slower if you are on heart medications. So that's why we will need to slowly ramp up, just because it's like a car, like a sports car can go from like I don't know, city speed to like I don't know 100 miles, 100 kilometers per hour very, very quickly. But as we get older, or we're not an athlete, or we're on medications, it takes a little longer for heart rate to ramp up. Okay, so let's do the same thing, but this time let's do like a step. So we're going to step forward, come back, step out to side, step this way, and let's not do backwards. Let's just do forward. Okay, so we're just going to go forward. Okay, just to change a little bit. Okay, feel free to change directions. Okay, so let's do side to side. So let's kind of reach, we're just going to do left and right. Okay, take a step out to the side, and then come back. If you feel any discomfort in the knees, take a smaller steps. Okay, or even just a small step and reach. Okay, but going side to side. Okay, let's try to reach a little bit further. So lean slightly as you reach side to side. Okay, and then just back to the marching. Okay, let's lift our knees a little bit higher. Okay, so let's try to slow, we're going to slow it down a little bit, but lift our legs up. Okay, so we're just going to touch our knee with the opposite hand. Okay, and slowly see if you can increase the pace if you feel comfortable. Okay, once again, you can always do the talk test. So I'm just going to do a quick one for myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew. So roughly I'm around 8, so that's roughly moderate intensity for myself. Okay, once again, it can be very different for you. Okay, so just go at your own pace. Okay, a little harder, see if you can point our fingers towards the ankles. We don't have to touch it. You can touch it if you want to, but that's going to be a little bit harder. Maybe a little more challenging for your balance as well. Okay, and let's do the opposite where we're kicking the leg out instead. Okay, well, you can start off with just touching the floor. Okay, and reaching our opposite hand out. If you feel comfortable, reach kind of off, lift your legs off the floor as well. Okay, and let's try and make it both hands. So like a half jumping jack. Okay, I'm not going to move my hand too high. I'm going to choose to move a little bit faster instead. You can do the opposite if you want. Okay, let's check our coordination. Okay, can we just keep moving your hands up and down while we are walking side to side? Okay, can we just move one arm? Okay, and then switch. Okay, can we do opposite direction? So one hand is going up, the other hand is going down. You might feel slightly different in your abdominal areas. You might find that they have to work a little bit harder. Okay, and then shoulders might be a little tight. So let's skip that rest. And you can keep going with our legs. So we're at about 6 minutes. Okay, so we want to do, once again, do about 10 minutes. Okay, so slow down if you need to, but try to keep going in some ways. Turn on the fan if your body's getting too hot. Okay, so let's do almost like a squatting pattern next. We're going to also warm up that pattern as well. So we're just going to be swinging our arms back and forth, like almost we're trying to jump up. Okay, so it's just swinging back and forth and upwards. Okay, bend your knees very gently, and then also push your hips back a little bit. Okay, so imagine you're trying to jump up, okay, but you don't actually have to jump. Okay, if you can, see if you can almost reach, go up a little bit onto your toes. Okay, so you might find that this will make you a little more out of breath because we are using that big muscle of our legs, kind of using our arm muscles, our back maybe a little bit as well, using our calf muscles as we push up. Okay, so you might find this will get your heart rate going a little more. Okay, so let's do like a step now. So we're going to do like a half squat and then take a step forward. Okay, the squat doesn't have to be very low, just push your butt back. Okay, but take a step forward and then reach up. Okay, if you so choose, you can make this harder by going lower and taking a big step out if you want. Okay, once again, you don't have to. Okay, once again, do that talk test. We don't have to go to that vigorous intensity. Okay, now front your leg a little hard. Let's work our back a little bit instead. So shifting our weight side to side, kicking our heel up. Okay, and once again, deep breath in and out. I'm probably a little out of shape, as I probably hear me Breathing a little bit faster. Okay, and see if you can kick your heel a little closer to your butt. So you can even reach behind you and touch your heel if you want to, or you can just point. Okay, once again, safety first. Okay, even a little more coordination. See if you can point your fingers to the opposite heel. So I had to think about that for a second. Okay, but see if you can point it or get it close. And the fingertips are a little closer. You might find it kind of works slightly different parts of the back of your leg. Okay, and now let's just do like almost like a side to side swing. Okay, just doing a step and in and out. If you swing your arms any way you like. Okay, now let's do a little bit coordination again. So we're gonna go to one side and we're gonna do a full circle and then step out. So we're gonna take a step and then do a kind of a dance move, I guess. Okay, so once again, you're just gonna do a full circle as you take one or two steps out to the side, to one side, okay, and back to the original pattern. So this is what we call kind of set switching, which is you're trying to, there are two different rules almost. So we're doing this pattern, okay, and then suddenly we have to go into a slightly different pattern. So there's a little bit of brain training there. So just the two set of rules and you get to switch depending on some sort of trigger or some circumstances. And that is a little bit of brain training. Okay, so once again, when you feel ready, just do move. Okay, you can change it up. You can just do continuously. Maybe just pause one or two times. Sometimes you really keep count of maybe we do one step. So one step and then move. Okay, and then two steps. So one and then two. Okay, and then switch. And then 3 times now. 1, 2, 3, and move. Okay, this time 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so you can kind of make different, almost like a game for yourself. Just to make it maybe slightly more interesting, but it's also so we're not just not doing this mindlessly either. So we're to kind of pay attention at the same time. Okay, so we're actually at 11 minutes now. Okay, so we're actually more than 10 minutes. Okay, so let's slow it down. Once again, we don't want a heart rate to just suddenly plummet either. Okay, we want to just at least it's more like our blood pressure. So we suddenly sit down. Some people can get a little dizzy as blood pools on our legs. So gently slow it down. How long you do this for, completely up to yourself. So once again, you can do a talk test when you're back to, let's say, closer to 10. When you count to about 10, maybe then a good time for you to stop. Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick check for myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Okay, so that was the aerobic part. Okay, so maybe still take a break first. Let's maybe take a 2-minute break. So right now it's 11:38 or so. So let's come back around 11:40 and we'll go on to the strength training part. Okay, so once again, keep moving a little bit. If you still feel you're out of breath, if you have any concerns, speak to us. Okay, but we can find we actually might not need a band today. So actually, if you can, find a wall that you can lean on almost. So I know before we might done like more band stuff. So let's change it up and we'll do a little bit of stuff on the wall today. So it can be a wall, could be a very sturdy desk, very sturdy chair. Actually, we do need a wall, sorry. But we will be doing one upper body, one lower body, and then something about with the balance. Okay, and do you drink enough water? Okay, so I hope everyone is back. So we're gonna once again we're gonna do one lower body, one upper body, and then one balance exercise. We're gonna do it for 2 sets or two rounds, and then after that we're going to do a little bit of stretching. So the first one is an exercise related to squatting, which is the sitting up in the air. So once again, that's very important because regardless of how old we are, we have to get up from the toilet, we have to get up from a chair, or we want to be able to get up from a toilet and want to be able to get up from the chair. So we do want to keep these muscles at the front of the legs strong. So this is a variation of the squat. So this is a wall sit. So what you're doing is that you're just kind of leaning against a wall, your leg away from it. Okay, and you're just gonna just scoot yourself a little lower. Okay, so of course, the lower you go, the harder it is. The good thing about this variation is that your knees don't bend as much when we're doing a wall sit. So I don't know if you can see, but if I'm, maybe I'll lean against this. The noise. So if I'm leaning and I'm sitting, you can see tell my knees are not even quite 90 degrees here. But if I'm doing this without something leaning on, I have to kind of lean for a little bit and my knees probably have to bend a little bit more. So that puts a little bit pressure, a little bit more pressure on our knees. So for the wall sit, some people find it more comfortable for the knees, but you just be careful that you can get back up. Like don't go too low or don't be too ambitious at the beginning. Okay, so we're just gonna hold this for, let's say, 15 to 30 seconds. Okay, so we're just gonna go to the level we're comfortable with, where we feel just our legs kind of tensing up a little bit. Okay, and let's aim for actually anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. Okay, so if you find a 10 is as much as you can do, just stop and take a break, or maybe get yourself a little higher so that you're not, so that you can get back up. Okay, so we're actually at about 15 seconds already. My thighs are starting to burn a little bit. This is kind of what we call isometric exercises as well, isometric strengthening, because our muscles are not moving. So we're not moving muscles like this, but it is still working. Sometimes you get more of that burning sensation because when your muscles contract, it actually kind of traps blood and also other like waste products within the muscle as well. So that's why you feel more of a burn. So I'm actually way past time. We're at 50 seconds already. Okay, so let's come back up. Shake it out a little bit. Sorry, I should keep better track of time. Feel free to stop at any point. Okay, shake it out. Okay, so let's do something similar for our arms. So we're still using a wall. Let's just do a wall push-up. So for this, you're just gonna have your hands on the side, in front of you, I mean, slightly wider than shoulder width. If you have any wrist issue, get it maybe slightly high up, will be more comfortable. What you do is that you're just kind of lowering your chest close to the wall and then getting yourself back up. Okay, some key points is that don't chicken wing your elbows. So your elbows should be kind of roughly maybe 45 degrees towards the floor. So something like this. Okay, so let's aim for about 10 to 15 times. Okay, so you want to keep your body in a straight line. Okay, and you just lower yourself down. Okay, and then push yourself back up. Okay, control on the way up and then control on the way down. Okay, so it'll be maybe 4 counts or so. Okay, so I'm going to lower by for 2 counts. So 1, 2. Okay, pushing up for 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I think we're number 4 right now. So 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so at this point, ask yourself how many more times can I do? If someone is pointing a gun to my head, I could probably do it for me quite a few number more. So for myself, I probably should do it more. Okay, but if your answer is I can at most do, let's say, 3 to 5 times more. That's a good place to stop. So we just want a little bit of a challenge, but not to the point of we can't even do a single one. So that will be a little bit too much. Okay, so let's do one balance right now. So get as many supports you need. You can even use a wall for support. Okay, so for this one, I'm actually going to use a wall. Okay, so I'm just kind of lightly touching the wall for balance. Okay, and I'm just going to lift the leg up. Okay, so let's check if we can hold this for at least 10 seconds first. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you cannot hold 10 seconds, get more supports. So that could mean putting more of your weight on a wall. That could mean putting more chairs around so you can hold on to the other side as well. So be able to hold for at least 10 seconds. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that we're still gonna be suspended on one leg, okay, and once again, use as much support as you need, okay, but this time we're just gonna tap in different directions, okay, so I'm just gonna be tapping like a half star pattern again, okay, so I'm tapping to a side, tapping diagonally backwards, okay, and then also we slide back, okay, all the meanwhile trying to balance this one. Okay, so just going up and down. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's try the other leg as well. Okay, same idea. Use as much the support as you need. Okay, check if you can hold a position not moving for 10 seconds first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I'm definitely feeling a little more balance on my right leg today. Okay, so once again, let's try to tap. Okay, if you want to make it harder, tap a little further away. Okay, but all the meanwhile, trying to maintain balance on the single leg. Okay, so once again, of course, you can also, if it's too hard, you can kind of glide your leg along the floor. So that will give you one more point of support, and that will make it a little bit easier. Okay, and you probably feel the muscles on the side of the hip a little bit more. Okay, so let's do these exercises, these 3 exercises one more time. Okay, if you feel like you had enough, feel free to stop. If you have more time afterwards, do another set if you feel like it's barely a challenge. Okay, so let's go back to the wall sit. So once again, you can make it yourself lower to make it harder, or high up to make it easier. Okay, and once again, we're holding for anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. Okay, and feel free to even shift your feet a little further away from the wall to make it maybe feel more comfortable on your knees. Okay, but maybe don't be too ambitious if this is new to you, just so that you can get back up. So we're at almost 30 seconds. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you start to lean away from the wall and maybe use my hands to push back up. Okay, maybe move it a little bit. Okay, and then once again, when you go into the wall, push up. Okay, if it's too easy for you, and if you have a sturdy counter, desk, or chair, you can do this on a chair as well. So let's say I want to make this hard, the wall is too easy for me. I can do it at an angle. So imagine, I know most people wouldn't have this, but just imagine there's a countertop height, and I'm just trying to do the same thing. Okay, and going up and down. Okay, so I'm going to use this for this time. Okay, but feel free to use whatever you have at your disposal. Okay, but once again, the idea is you want to keep your body in a straight line. So I'm not dangling my hips down. I'm not getting my hips away. My body is in a straight line from my ankle to my hip to my shoulders. Okay, so let's do about 10 times again. Okay, so once again, 2 counts down. So 1, 2, 2 count up, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. Reminded not to chicken wing our elbows, so elbows should be not close, not like tight to the body, but somewhat pointing down. I think we're at 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4. Start to ask yourself, how many more times can I do? Okay, at this level, I might do, let's say, if someone really pushes me, I might do another 8 maybe. Okay, so when I get to the point where I can at most do about 5, if someone really pushes me, 3 to 5, that's a good place to stop. So then you can shake things out, catch your breath. So once again, because we're using shoulder muscle, chest muscle, arm muscles, and a little bit of these things as well, you might find that makes you're breathing a little faster. Okay, so once again, not everything is just a cardio and just strength. It's like most movement is a combination of the two. And if you do this fast enough, if you continuously do this for 10 minutes, that probably would be kind of a cardio exercise as well. Okay, let's do our balance one more time. So once again, use any support you need. Okay, so by this point, you kind of know how much support you need. Okay, and you can just kind of reach and touch. Okay, if you want, you can also look where you want to go and maybe reach hands out as well. Okay, I forgot to mention, you're not really taking a step there. You're just lightly tapping, so most of my weight is still on the non-moving leg. Okay, sometimes our body follows where we're looking, so sometimes even just changing where we're looking can make it harder already. Oop. Okay, and once again, it's a non-moving leg that's working harder. Okay, you probably maybe even feel your toes and your feet kind of grabbing the ground a little bit as well to maintain the balance. Okay, and switch sides whenever you feel comfortable. Okay. Okay, and once again, you can change things a little bit. Okay, if you're feeling confident, you can do almost like a cross step as well. Okay, but once again, go by what you feel is safe for you. Okay, and don't go down too low if you find that it bothers your knees. Oop. Important to have support, all right? Okay. So that was a strengthening part. If you've been doing this for longer, you probably need to do more than just 2 sets because your body would have gotten used to this already. But for this class, for time's sake, we're just going to do 2 sets. Okay, so let's do just a little bit of stretching to end things off. Okay, so let's just try to do a body scan first. So feel where you may be still holding a little bit of tension, maybe feel where you feel like you've worked the most. Okay, so let's take a breath in. So in through the nose. Try to breathe into our belly area. So imagine this is a balloon. You're trying to get air here. Okay, as you breathe out, the air goes out and the belly shrinks a little bit. Okay, so let's do one more breath. Okay, so I just feel like I was clenching my butt cheeks almost. So I'm just trying to relax that a little bit. Okay, maybe I was clenching my shoulders a little bit. I'm trying to relax those as well. Okay, so let's keep that in mind as you're doing the stretching, so you can try to tell your body to relax. Okay, so let's do the shoulders first. So we're gonna reach one arm across, reach underneath the arm and pull your arm close to to your chest, I guess. Okay, once again, do that body scan, do that deep breath in and out. Okay, once again, I feel like I was clenching my butt. And try to hold this for maybe 3 to 5 breaths. Okay, and just switch whenever you feel like it. And feel free to do this again as well. Okay, so that was stretching the back, stretching the shoulders a little bit. Okay, let's stretch the front. Okay, so let's get our hands behind, can be either the hips or the low back or high up if you feel comfortable. Okay, and just trying to pull your shoulders back, lightly press your hand, back of your fists into your back. Just feel stretch in the front. Okay, so let's use a wall as well. So this is the one that can get a little confusing, but you're standing right up against the wall and you're just gonna put one hand up, just not so high, but it doesn't have to be too low. So roughly straight across. Okay, so this is my right hand on the wall. I'm gonna turn my entire body towards my left. Okay, but my feet are kind of straight against the wall pretty much. Okay, just feel a stretch on the front side of your chest, maybe even down to the bicep or the front of your upper arm. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can do the same thing on the side. So this is my left arm on the wall. I'm turning myself towards my right. Okay, feel free to move your legs, move your feet. So my belly button is pointing towards my right as well. So I'm not just twisting. My toes are pointing towards the right as well. Okay, and shaking it out. Okay, let's do the front of the legs. So for this one, if your balance is good, stand on one leg and kind of pull your leg up like this. If this is an issue, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, grab another chair, or if you find it's way too tight for you, to be able to pull your leg up to your heel, to your butt. Get a chair, holding a chair in front, okay, and prop your leg up this way. Okay, and for some people, you might feel that big stretch already in the front of the thighs. Okay, so either use your hands or use a chair to help you. Might be more comfortable if you're wearing shoes. Okay, and once again, see if you can pull your belt buckle up towards the ceiling. Okay, as you do that, you probably feel more of a stretch here. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can switch over to the other leg. Okay, so once again, up to you. Use the chair or use your hand. But try to pull your belt buckle up to the ceiling. Push the hips a bit slightly forward. Get your knees almost pointing slightly back. So if your leg is like here, you're not going to feel much of anything. You do need to get your knees slightly back, but you're not arching your back. So we're going to pull our belt buckle up and get your knees further back to feel the stretch in the front. I should probably use that support. Okay. So let's stretch, because we did do a kind of a lots of motion as well. Let's stretch our calves as well. So this one, this is the one where you either put your toes up on, elevate your toes. So it can be on a chair, it could be up on a wall. I like to use a yoga block. But the goal is just to get your heel on the floor, get your toes up, okay, and then push the hips forward until you feel a stretch in the back of your calves. Okay, so once again, it could be the leg of a chair, could be the wall. You just have to get your toes up, your heel on the floor, and then get your hips forward. Okay, almost out of time. Okay, and let's do on the other side as well. Okay, so let's finish off with just a couple of big rests. Okay, so once again, do a body scan, see where you're feeling still tight. Okay, and let's take a couple of big breaths in. So take a breath in. Okay, kind of reach your hands towards the ceiling. Okay, breathing out as you come back. Okay, and feel free to do smaller motions if you find it's way too intense, way to reach up that high. Even just up to the forehead and coming back, that's completely okay. Your goal is just try to relax and try to let go of the tension. Okay, let's do maybe 1 or 2 more breaths. Do this as slowly as you want. Okay, and lastly, we just take 1 or 2 deep breaths in here. Try to slow things down a little bit. So maybe take 2 seconds to breathe in. Pause for 2 seconds. And 2 seconds back out. Okay, one last time. Breathe in for 1, 2. Holding for 1, 2. Breathing out for 1, 2. And slowly bring your awareness back to where you are. Okay, and I think that's all the time we have for today. So thank you for coming, everyone. Maybe see everyone next week. Take care.